Well, we love having head coach Lisa Bluder from the University of Iowa on 24 Hours Nothing But Net. Coach Bluder, you know about nothing but net. It seems like all you do is change the nets over and over in Carver Hawkeye because you shoot it so well.
I hope so. That's the goal, Debbie. As we both know, that's a lot of fun basketball when you can score a lot of points. And so that's the goal.
I mean, sum it up. I mean, the last couple of years, have been incredibly special. You have led the nation in so many offensive categories: passing, assists, shooting, catch and shoot threes. I mean, I could go on and on about the analytics side of it, but tell us from your perspective, in all the years that you've been in this game, how rewarding it was to do what you've done the last 2 years playing for the national championship.
It has been so much fun. I consider myself so blessed to have the amazing women around. And we know about Caitlin Clark. Everybody knows about Caitlin Clark. But it's all the other gals, too, that have just done such an amazing job of adapting to her, adjusting to our style. And that's what's been so rewarding, is doing it with the people that you're surrounded by, right? Whether it's your staff, your players, your fans. When we have the opportunity to play in national championship games, it lets you reflect on all the great things that are happening around your program and around your university. And it certainly has this year.
Well, it's definitely a warm fuzzy. I mean, I can feel it right here permeating through the screen, how much fun it was for you. And, for me, getting a chance to experience some things along the way was really amazing. When you talk about the product, which we know the product is good, well, what about the business of basketball? What has the business of basketball been like at Iowa?
When you say the business of basketball, Debbie, do you mean like the season ticket sales or the T-shirt sales, or
Yeah,
what do you mean? Like,
all the metrics around it. I mean, I personally call it Clarkonomics, but I didn't want to reference that off the top. I was kind of giving you a chance to tell us what you see.
no, I mean, obviously, when you have a star like Caitlin, it brings so much attention to your product. And certainly it did that with us. Last year we sold out our season tickets in August. We had to put a stop on them, because we had oversold Carver Hawkeye Arena, which is 15,000 people. In addition to that, we saw every visiting arena that we went to increase their attendance by 157%. So there was definitely Clarkonomics going around. If you look up and down Iowa City and you see lots of 22 T-shirts walking around, and I'm not talking about just little girls. I'm talking about boys. I'm talking about grown men and women wearing those T-shirts with pride. And you know what it brought into our community? Obviously, all those people coming to our games helped our restaurants, our hotels. Really, quite honestly, the University of Iowa, with the publicity that we received, with our admissions, and you can't measure the amount of good PR that we did for our university.
No question. I bet enrollment is way up this year at the University of Iowa because of Caitlin Clark and what success your program had. So right before the taping of our interview for 24 Hours Nothing But Net, a little number scrolled across my screen. It was an 8 and a 28, as in 8 years and 28 million. We're referencing the Nike contract that Caitlin has just put her signature to. When you hear that, what does that invoke in you?
Pride, just because it's one of our players that this, is happening with. And it just shows you the power of women's basketball right now. I mean, if the power of what our student athletes are able to accomplish right now with NIL and sponsorships, and how valuable they are. And it's so rewarding to know that one of our players is accomplishing this, but also it just goes to shows the NCAA, shows the universities the power of these student athletes and what they can accomplish if we support them.
One of the things that I admire about you so much, Lisa, is that you've never forgotten where you came from. Your roots are all Iowa. You always give credit to Dr. Christine Grant, who was a part of the Title IX movement. You have spent more than 30 years coaching in this state, and almost 40, and you have always referenced the state of Iowa. So having said all of that, and Caitlin graduating, who's got next?
Oh boy. I I don't know who the great national player is. We certainly have a lot of candidates. I think there's so many wonderful players out there, and I don't want to start naming names because I'm going to forget somebody, and then their coach is going to be mad at me. So I'm not going to do that. But there's a lot of great players out there. As far as the University of Iowa, I mean, Hannah Stalkey just burst onto the scenes last year. I think she's going to be tremendous in her junior year. Sydney Folter coming back for her senior year here at Iowa. Did such a great job in postseason when Molly Davis went out. Kylie Fierbrock came off the bench for us and played so well. But we also have a young woman coming in, a transfer from Villanova that we're very excited about, Lucy Olson. So she's going to really take on those reins of Caitlin Clark and passing on the point guard legacy to her. We have the 9th best recruiting class in the country coming in. And so we have a lot of good young players, but they're young and they're going to take time to develop and to learn our culture and learn our style of play. And I'm really going to count on Hannah and Sid and Kylie and Lucy to do those things for us.
Well, it's exciting. I know you're not going to drop off as much as people think you may. I'm excited for you. I want to go to draft night because we all knew Caitlin was going to be #1. Everyone knew that. It was a sigh of relief when her name came across and Kathy Ingerbrook called her name. You were sitting at the table with Caitlin and with her family. There was this incredible rush of emotion that came over you. And I texted you right after I saw it because it was so you. I mean, it was so organic and a spur of the moment thing. Was that just a wash over of everything that you've done? Because soon after that, Kate Martin was drafted as well. And that had to have been as much a blessing for you as Caitlin.
Yeah, I think that the emotions of it being a reality, right? Like I don't get to coach her anymore. I'm handing her off to somebody else. That part, but also it's the end of an era. It's the end of, it's like officially closing that book of being able to coach one of the best women's basketball players of all time. Also, when you see your players' dreams come true, there's nothing more rewarding than that. Like that's what we do this for, right? Is to empower the next generation and let them reach their dreams. And to have that happen with Caitlin, and then to have it happen with Kate was unbelievable. I don't know if anything, I can describe that night. Kate, we knew she was going to go. We just didn't know when. And I was sitting at the table with Caitlin's parents, and all of a sudden I saw them move her from her seat in the middle of the aisle to the end of the aisle. And I said to Ann Clark, hey, it's going to happen. She's going to go soon. And so we kind of had a little bit of a heads up. Couldn't be more excited for Kate Martin having this opportunity with the Las Vegas Aces.
So there are so many moments this year, Lisa, that you can point to that were moments that in time you never can get back, and you can reflect on them and hear stories from different angles and hear stories from 100 different people on any number of things, whether it's the game in the football stadium at Kinnick Stadium, where I actually was there. You gave me full access. You even let me ride the bus with the team on the way over to the stadium. I mean, it was very powerful seeing all those people in Hawkeye gear, excited about 55,600 plus in the football stadium, or one of the 45 different records that Caitlin broke during the course of the season, or taking your team to the Final Four and the national championship game when there were a lot of doubters out there that didn't think that Caitlin had enough talent around her to do it. If you sit back and think about any one of those moments, because there's so many, is there one that comes to your mind today? Because tomorrow it might be a different moment.
I think there are so many that you just spoke of, Deb, but I feel like, beating UConn in the semifinal game, that just kind of, I think, put our program at a different level. Obviously, playing in back-to-back national championship games is special, but when you have to beat a Colorado, an LSU, and a UConn to get there, it's unbelievable. And just that journey with our team again this year, like you said, nobody thought we could be back there because of what we lost, but we kept focusing on what we had, and we thought we had enough pieces to make a good run at it. Nobody can ever predict getting to a Final Four. It's so hard to do, or to get to a national championship game. But we just kept believing and focusing on what we had in our locker room, and it was enough.
And when you say it's enough, it certainly was, because it was good enough to do all the things, beating the teams you beat that were really good defensive teams. So along the way, it validates why offense is so important, and shooting till your arm falls off is so important. And I know you do that in your practice gym, because I've been in your practice gym before. I've even gotten shots up on the practice gym court. So I know how valuable that resource is for you. When you look at the resources around the game, the way it's changed, the attendance numbers, the not just the attendance in arena, but the TV ratings and all the things that have come with what I call Clarkonomics. I'm not going to make you comment on this, because I don't understand why people would be throwing shade at Caitlin, just because everyone's going to stand to make more money. Every single person in the game is going to be better off because we've had Caitlin Clark come along. What can you say about Caitlin? And I know people probably said, tell us something about her we don't that nobody knows, or tell us something about her that maybe is not as obvious. You know, when you think about her going to the Fever and what she's going to be able to accomplish with that group of talent that they have, and they do have some talent there, so they are going to be expected to win. What would you say about Caitlin that might surprise people, that they think they know everything about this 22-year-old kid from Iowa?
Well, first of all, I before I talk about that, Debbie, I got to go back to people throwing shade at Caitlin, because honestly, it's mind-boggling, to be quite honest, because you can just look at Iowa as a case study to what she has brought our basketball program to, not only in Iowa but on a national level. And why would anybody want to put a dent in that or to slow it down? The movement, that's absolutely bewildering to me. So what could I tell you about Caitlin? I just think that people don't see her as this person that is so genuinely kind and so fun loving and so giving and wants to help so many people. You just see the competitor out there. You see a little bit of the cockiness, and that's okay, right? That's who she is on the floor. But off the floor, she's just an amazing young lady with almost straight A's, and a foundation that wants to help kids. So she's a great teammate. She took care of her teammates, and I think that they'll find that at the next level, that how great of a teammate that she really is.
And Clarkonomics is in full effect in the WNBA. The tickets are selling out on the road. Indiana's already managing a ticket demand that they've never experienced. Even the Las Vegas Aces have moved their home game to a bigger arena when Indiana comes to town. Surprised? Maybe not. What do you think?
I'm surprised how quickly it happened. I thought it might take a couple of games at least, for her impact to show, but it's happening right now. And, like we said, it's just going to make the WNBA so much better. It's going to help everybody involved, and it's going to give really the top brass at the WNBA an opportunity to really to push the limits on what they've already achieved, and to really keep expanding on that, which I think is incredibly exciting for everybody involved.
Well, we're certainly going to find out, right? Because the full court press is on for every metric in our game to change, every mindset in the way we've delivered the game to change. So I'm looking forward to being a part of the positive side of that myself, from what I do in my little world of presenting the games on television. So I want to shift here to the purpose of really why I have invited you to be a part of our live stream. You've been a part of our live stream before. Full transparency, like, we've known each other for a long time. You were there, when Frankie was born. People that have young adults or infants or new people with intellectual disability, or people in your family. And you even have someone in your family, Lisa. So share with us why you think Special Olympics is so important to this movement that we have in sport right now, not just women's sport, but sport in general, and the value of it.
Yeah, Special Olympics just gives opportunities for everybody to be able to enjoy the benefits of sport, and the benefits of sport are so far reaching. It's not just playing a game. It's learning life lessons. It's having teamwork. It's having goal setting and motivation and discipline. And all those things are so important to everybody, and everybody should be able to experience that. And through Special Olympics, everybody is able to experience that. And so, Debbie, I admire you so much on what you have done for Special Olympics, the attention that you've brought to it, the finances that you've raised for it. It's just wonderful. And so I'm so thankful to call you a friend and somebody that I admire for your dedication to Special Olympics.
Well, thank you for those kind words. I hope that will encourage those that are listening and watching as I'm putting some sweat equity in the driveway in between top of the hour free throw shooting, that will get inspired and help us like you have, Lisa. So thank you for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and everybody should give to Special Olympics because we all have the opportunity to do so. But Debbie, I've seen your workouts. They're amazing. You spend a lot of time. People don't realize you don't go out there and just shoot the free throws. You know, it's like a game. Everybody thinks we just go out and play the game. It's all the practice that goes into it, all the preparation that goes into it. You put in that sweat equity to get out there and perform. What was it last year? 90 what percent from the free throw line? What'd you shoot? Come on.
I shot 95 with a broken finger on my left hand. Remember, my finger was broken. So I don't know if I can match that this year, but I did my free throw burpee workout in your gym last spring. I was there for the Title IX celebration, and I'm doing the free throw burpee workout again, and it is kicking my butt.
That's a killer. If I never have to do a burpee again the rest of my life, I am okay with that. So goodness, you know, for you to do it on your own accord.
No shortcuts on this deal, right? You got to do it all out, because it is true. I have to shoot it at a high level. I've set a high bar for myself, but also when people are tuning in and watching, I think it actually helps them give more money because they see what I'm doing and they think, boy, I could do something similar, you know, and I can make a difference. And every penny does make a difference. So I want to thank you for everything you've done, your staff, for everything they've done to support us, and just appreciate your friendship too, Lisa. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks, Debbie. Go get them.